Hare Krishna, everyone. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Veer Hanuman. Welcome to the recap of session 2 of our Hanuman Chalisa class at Gurukul. So let's always chant this doha. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nijman Mukur Sudhari Varnau Raghuvar Vimal Jasu Jodayak Falchari. So in our first video, we explored the powerful backstory of how Hanuman Chalisa was born and understood the meaning behind the first four Chaupais, describing Hanumanji's strength, wisdom, devotion, and divine appearance. Today, we're going to move forward with Chaupai number 5 to 10, where we'll uncover more of Hanumanji's inspiring qualities and glorious service to Lord Ram. Well, if you missed the class, or if you'd like a refresh what we've learned, this recap is just for you. So let's continue our journey of understanding and chanting Hanuman Chalisa, one powerful verse at a time. हाथ ब्रज और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे. हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे. In your hands you hold Vajra, thunderbolt, and a flag, Dhwaja. Kandhe Moonj Janeyu Saje. On your shoulder you wear the sacred thread, Janeyu, made of munj grass. So in this chaupai, Tulsidasi describes Hanumanji's symbolic appearance, not just how he looks, but what it means. He holds Vajra, the weapon of Lord Indra, in one hand, which symbolizes invincible strength, power, and courage. It shows Hanumanji is always ready to protect Dharma and fight evil. And in the other hand, he carries a flag, a dhwaja. And what's that represent? That represents victory, surrender, and devotion. This flag often carries the emblem of Lord Ram, showing that Hanumanji never acts for himself, but always under Ram's banner. And on his shoulder, he wears a sacred thread, Janeyu, which is made of a munj grass, which is worn by those who have taken a vow of spiritual learning and discipline. It reminds us that Hanumanji is not just a warrior, but also a brahmachari, a disciplined devotee with great spiritual wisdom. So this verse is not just about Hanuman's outer form, it reflects his character. Vajra represents strength and protection. Flag represents devotion and service. And Janeyu, it's a purity and spiritual discipline. Like, let's think of Hanumanji's, every time, let's say, whenever we see Hanumanji's murti or a painting of Hanumanji, notice these three things next time you go temple or wherever. He has a mace or a thunderbolt, Gada we call it, which is a symbol of his power. Flag, his loyalty to Lord Ram. Sacred thread, his spiritual vow. All these together remind us that the true strength comes from purity, humility, and devotion. So let's move on to the next one. Shankar Suvan Kesari Nandan Tej Pratap Maha Jagvandan. Shankar Suvan, son or incarnation of Lord Shiva. Kesari Nandan, son of Kesari. Tej Pratap, full of brilliance and divine power. Maha Jagvandan, revered by the whole world. So this chaupai gives us the insight into Hanuman's divine origin and glory. Tulsidaji says Shankar Suvan, meaning Hanumanji is the incarnation or son of Lord Shiva. Yes, Hanumanji is considered to be born from Lord Shiva's blessing, combining the strength of Shiva and the swiftness of Vayu, wind god. And he's also called Kesari Nandan, the son of Kesari. his earthly father. So Hanumanji is both divinely born and nobly raised. And next line praises his tej, his brilliance, his pratap, his majesty's glory. Hanuman's glow is not just physical, it's his spiritual aura, his purity, his power, and his unshakable devotion that make him shine so brightly. And because of these divine qualities, Tulsidas says, Maha Jagavandan, the entire universe bows down to Hanumanji. From sages to gods to common people, all respect and honor him. So let's look at the reflection. Hanumanji teaches us that true greatness doesn't just come from the power, but from serving a higher purpose. Though he was full of strength and divine energy, his heart was always humble and surrendered to Lord Ram. विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर. Vidyavan, full of knowledge. Guni, virtuous, full of good qualities. Ati chatur, extremely intelligent and clever. Ram kaj karibe ko atur, always eager to perform Lord Ram's work. So in this Chaupai, Tulsidasi gives us a glimpse of Hanumanji's inner personality, a perfect blend of intelligence, virtue, and devotion. He says Hanumanji is Vidyavan, highly knowledgeable. Not only Hanumanji knows the scriptures, but he also has the wisdom to use that knowledge correctly. Guni, rich in good qualities like humility, courage, truthfulness, and patience. Ati Chatur, extremely clever and sharp-minded. Whether it's finding Sita Mataji in Lanka or tricking demons, Hanumanji always uses his intelligence wisely. And the most beautiful part is in the second line. Ram kaj karibe ko atur. He's always eager and enthusiastic to do anything that serves Lord Ram. He doesn't wait to be told. He runs to serve, whether big or small tasks. So this verse actually teaches us what? It says true intelligence is not just being smart. It's using our qualities to serve the higher purpose with enthusiasm. When monkeys were searching for Sita Mataji, many were tired and ready to give up. But Hanumanji, remembering his duty to Lord Ram, leaped across the ocean to Lanka without hesitation. He didn't say, why me? Sometimes our kids say, why me? Why I have to do it? Let's learn from Hanumanji. He just thought, let me go now. That's Ram Kaj Karibe Ko Atur in action. Hanumanji never delays in doing devotional service. Prabhu Charitra Sunibe Ko Rasiya Ram Lakhan Sita Man Basiya. Prabhu Charitra Sunibe Ko Rasiya, delighted to listen to the glories and pastimes of Lord Ram. Ram, Lakhan, Sita, Man Basiya. Lord Ram, Lakshman and Sita Mataji reside constantly in his heart. Well, this verse shows us the sweet devotional side of Hanumanji. Tulsidas says Hanumanji is Rasiya, someone who is deeply absorbed and delighted in listening to the Charitra, the divine stories and pastimes of Lord Ram. Hanumanji doesn't just do seva with his body, his heart and mind are completely absorbed in Ram Katha. He finds joy in hearing Lord's name, his leelas, his qualities. And the second line is even more beautiful. Ram Lakhan Sita Man Basiya. Hanuman's heart is the eternal home of Lord Ram, Lakshman and Sita Mata. They don't just visit his mind occasionally, they live there permanently. So this verse teaches us that true devotion is when we don't just chant and listen, but we also invite the Lord into our hearts. Hanumanji is so pure, so loving, so surrendered that Ram, Sita and Lakshman themselves dwell within him. Sukshma roop dhari siyahi dikhava, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा. Suksham रूप धरि took a tiny form. Siyai दिखावा to appear before Sita Mataji. Vikat रूप धरि took a terrifying, huge and fierce form. Lank Jarawa to burn Lanka. This verse highlights Hanumanji's ability to change forms, not just to show off, but to serve Lord Ram. When Hanumanji found Sita Mata in a Shokvatika, he did not appear her in a grand form. Instead, he took a small, gentle form, Sukshma, so that she couldn't get frightened. He sat atop of a tree, softly reciting Ram's name and respectfully presented Lord Ram's ring. This shows Hanumanji's humility and intelligence, knowing how to act based on the situation, something which we can learn from Hanumanji. But later, when he was captured by Ravan's men and his tail was set on fire, Hanumanji took a gigantic, fierce form, Vikataroop, and set the city of Lanka ablaze, punishing the wicked. This Chaupais shows Hanumanji has a complete control over his strength. He becomes a soft like a flower when meeting a devotee like Sita, and fierce like a fire when confronting evil like Ravan. So what's the moral for us? True power is not just about being strong. It's about using strength with wisdom. So Hanumanji teaches us that when to be gentle and when to be bold, always with Lord Ram's service in mind. भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे. Bhim Roopadhari took a terrifying or mighty form, Asur Sanghare, to destroy the demons, the Asurs. Ramchandra ke Kaj Savare, to perfectly carry out Lord Ram's tasks. This Chaupai continues from the previous verse, showing Hanumanji becomes a fierce and unstoppable when it comes to protecting Dharma. He took the Bhim Roop, the mighty fearsome form, to destroy demons who stood in the way of righteousness. Whether it was fighting the demons of Lanka, rescuing Lakshman by bringing Sanjeevani mountain, or defeating Adhiravan in the Patal, in the world under the surface, Hanumanji never hesitated. He uses his power not to pride, but only to help Lord Ram succeed. And that's the core message of the second line. Ramchandra ke Kaj Savare. Hanumanji's only mission was to support, complete, and glorify the work of Shri Ram. No matter how dangerous, how big, how tiring, if it's Ram's task, Hanumanji's all in. So what's the takeaway for us? Hanumanji's strength has a purpose, and that was a seva, the service. And he shows us that when we dedicated our strength and talent to a noble cause, even impossible tasks become possible. So let's just quickly recap or review what we learned in this session. So Chopai 5 to 10. So 5, we saw Hanumanji's hold Vajran flag, symbolizing his unmatched strength and devoted service to Lord Ram. Chopai 6, we learnt of his divine origin, born of Lord Shiva and Kesari, and how his brilliance and glory is worshipped across the world. And in Chopai 7, Hanumanji is describing as wise, virtuous, and clever, and most importantly, always eager to serve Ram without delay. And in Chopai number 8, we discovered his deep love for listening to Ram's pastimes and how Ram, Lakshman, and Sita reside permanently in his heart. And in Chopai number 9, we saw Hanumanji's humility when he took a tiny form to meet Sita Mata, and his power when he took a fierce form to burn Lanka. And in the 10th Chopai, we learned Hanumanji destroyed the demons and made sure every task of Lord Ram was completed with devotion and perfection. So these verses show us not just Hanuman's strength and wisdom, but also his discipline, humility, eagerness to serve, and deep love for Ram. So with this, we conclude session 2 of Hanuman Chalisa class at Gurukul. I hope this recap helped you reflect on Hanumanji's qualities and feel more connected to his divine energy. Let's try to bring even a little of that devotion, service attitude, and strength in our own lives. Can we? In our next video, we'll continue with Chaupais 11 to 16, where Hanumanji's heroic adventures truly shine. Until then, keep chanting, keep learning, and stay inspired. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Veer Hanuman. See you all in my next session.